Picture this. It's 1940. Europe is in chaos. Caught in the grip of World War II, Nazi forces are storming across the continent. And for thousands of Jewish families, every door is slamming shut, borders are sealed, escape routes are vanishing. Hope is fading fast. But in the small Lithuanian city of Kaunas, there's a flicker of light. A quiet man in a quiet position of power. His name is Chiune Sugihara, and he's the Japanese vice-consul. Every single day, a desperate crowd gathers outside his consulate. They're not begging for food or money, they're begging for a piece of paper, a transit visa from Japan. It's one of the last remaining tickets out of a continent turning into a death trap. With that visa, they could travel across the Soviet Union and find safety. Sugihara knew the rules. He wasn't supposed to issue these visas without direct approval from his superiors in Tokyo. He was a diplomat, a man of procedure. So, he did what he was trained to do. He asked for permission. He cabled his government, explaining the life-or-death situation. The answer came back, no. He asked again. The answer was the same, no. He asked a third time, pleading their case. The response was final, absolutely not. Granting visas would violate official policy. Now Sugihara stood at a crossroads. He could follow his orders, protect his career, and turn his back on the thousands of people pleading for their lives outside his window. Or, he could follow his conscience, defy his government, and do what he knew was right. He chose his conscience. What followed was an act of incredible defiance and humanity. 4 weeks, from sunrise until long after sunset, Sugihara and his wife sat at a small desk, handwriting visa after visa. He wrote until his hands ached, and his fingers went numb. His wife would massage his cramped hands so he could keep going. They worked tirelessly, knowing each signature represented a life, a family, a future. Then, the order came to shut down the consulate. But Sugihara didn't stop. He moved his operation to his hotel room and kept writing. He wrote until the very last second, when he was finally forced to board a train to leave Kaunas. Witnesses say he was still signing papers and throwing them out of the train window to the desperate crowd on the platform. He continued saving lives until he was physically torn away. Because of those pieces of paper, those defiant acts of compassion. An estimated 6,000 Jewish refugees escaped the horrors of the Holocaust. Today, their descendants number in the tens of thousands, a living legacy of one man's courage. You might think Sugihara returned home a hero, but he didn't. He was dismissed from the Japanese Foreign Service for his disobedience. His story was buried, forgotten, for decades. It wasn't until many years later that the world began to learn about his incredible sacrifice. Israel eventually honored him with the title Righteous Among the Nations, one of the highest honors for a non-Jew who risked their life to save Jews during the Holocaust. When asked about his actions, Sugihara never called himself a hero. He said something simple yet profound. I may have disobeyed my government, but if I hadn't, I would have been disobeying God. The story of Chiune Sugihara is a powerful reminder that one person can make a world of difference. It shows us that true courage isn't always about following the rules. Sometimes, it's about knowing when to break them to save a life, to stand up for humanity, and to listen to that quiet, persistent voice of conscience. Thanks so much for watching. If this story moved you, please consider liking and subscribing for more stories of forgotten heroes. See you next time.